Thank you all so much for coming this evening. I'm Katie Hayes. I'm the Executive Director of Community Farmers Markets, and we're really excited to be conducting our second class as part of our Vendor Professional Development Program. Some of you may know that this is a collaboration with the Foodwell Alliance. The Foodwell Alliance's offices are actually here. You walked right past them when you were coming into the classroom. And they have generously funded this program and are also a great thought partner on our vendor development program. So tonight we're going to be going over a business model canvas, which is a unique way of mapping out your business plan. Okay, so the business model canvas. The business model canvas is this one-page tool that's absolutely amazing. It's a great way of putting all of the elements of your business plan onto one page and really visualizing it. There's a book and a website and all sorts of tools that go along with the canvas, but it's also really open source. So you can Google everything on the internet. I'll show you a couple of videos and some more resources. Okay, so the canvas I think is an especially useful business model tool because it's a great reality check no matter where you are in your business. So even if, like I said, even if you already have a fully developed business plan, this is a great point to take a step back and see if you're doing what you said you're going to be doing. It helps clarify your current business model. If it's really long and lengthy, it helps you condense it into one spot. It helps you map out new ideas quickly. So let's say you're thinking about opening a new farm stand or doing a new farmer's market or selling wholesale. You could actually use the canvas for just one of those concepts rather than your whole business and map it out and quickly see if it's feasible or not. It helps you think holistically about your business. You'll see that a lot of the segments of this are interconnected and really dependent on each other. And it allows you to look, take a bird's eye view rather than really detail, well, at the same time as being detailed. It easily illustrates how businesses make sense financially. So you'll see that it's a great illustration, being all in one place. And it translates business plans into business processes. Like I said, it also shows really important roles and interdependencies, and uses a common language. So this is a tool that you can use with your team and with your colleagues so that you're speaking the same language when you're talking about the different practices of your business. And like I said, it maps out all of your business plan images or plans into one image, which is a really powerful tool when you're going to investors or funders or talking to your team or your board or whoever it is about the business plan and what you're doing. So this here is an example of what CFM's business model canvas looks like. You'll see it's actually a slightly different format than the one that you're going to be working on today because we're looking at stakeholders rather than customers. But you organize it all with Post-it notes, and we're going to go into more about the Post-it notes later. But it's a really great visualization of your organization and the different 9 building blocks of a business plan. You'll see that I have this one color-coded because we serve different customer populations. We serve vendors as well as customers and then both as a community. And so that's one of the things that we'll get into later on as how you can organize yours as well. So the 9 building blocks are customer segments, value propositions, channels, customer relationships, revenue streams, key resources, key activities, key partnerships, and cost structure. So here are some tips in the process of what's going to happen now. So our lovely Vanna White Danny is passing out large pieces of paper. So you're going to want to create space for yourself, whether that's on the wall or on the floor or on the tables, and create a space for you individually, or if you're working with a partner, if your business partner is here, you'll just do one together. Actually, can I see one of those? And Kate is about to pass these out. So this is a miniature version of what you're going to draw. You're not going to put any words on this except for the words that are on the piece of paper. So the 9 building blocks and the sections. For the sake of continuity, don't get too creative with this. Just keep it in the same format as the canvas. You'll get creative in a moment with your ideas and the Post-it notes. Kate is passing around a description of the 9 building blocks. So these are the building blocks that we just went over. So if you have a question about what they mean, if you need to reference them, there's this handy dandy handout for you. Try to go in the order that's listed. So starting with customer segments, then going on to value proposition channels, and so on and so on. If you get stuck somewhere, move on. If you have no idea what your revenue stream is, that would be dangerous. But if you don't, then just say, all right, I'm going to come back to that one. And chances are something in one of those other blocks is going to help you inform what that is if you're stuck. So try to go in this order, but if you get stuck, pause, move on. So this next piece is one of the most important pieces, the Post-it notes, which we're going to get back to in just one second because I have a whole slide for Post-it notes. The next is customer-centric. So remember to try to think about what your customer wants, how much they want to pay. Think about what the customer is looking for, not just what you want to sell. And then again, encourage yourself to think outside the box. And how can you bring a little creativity to this exercise? All right, so now the Post-its. So the reason why you use Post-its and not writing directly onto the canvas is because you want to keep your ideas movable. Something that might seem like a partner might actually be a key resource. Something that might seem like a customer actually might end up being a key partner. So you want to keep your ideas movable, and by having them on the Post-it note, they are. Then the next piece is that you only want to write one element per Post-it note, and you want to keep that as short as possible. So one word or one phrase. So you're not going to write a whole paragraph on the Post-it note about how you're using social media to reach a new audience of aged, 3 through 10. You're going to use, the ages for the customer segment piece, Facebook through the channels, etc. So does that make sense? So one element, one thought, as short as possible per Post-it note. And you want to use Sharpies, not pens, so that when you step back, you can really see the big picture and visualize it. And then again, I mentioned this earlier, but if you have multiple customer segments, I find it really helpful to use a different color for each customer segment. And so when you look at it overall, you can see the different lines, the different channels, the different value propositions and relationships for each customer. Thank you guys for doing this exercise with us.